who are the right people to lead us, whether it's our companies, our organizations, or our political systems, our cities, our states, our countries. Who should lead us? What does it mean to be a leader? And how do we choose those leaders? That's what I want to talk about today. My name is Tom. I'm a founder of Vertical Motion, where we help good people become great leaders. If you're a good person, someone who's authentic, empathetic, and audacious enough to want to build something great, then click the link down below and you'll see how you can learn how we can help you become that self-actualized leader that you know you can be. But today, what I want to talk to you about specifically is who should lead us. We're in an interesting time right now, and there seems to be a really massive vacuum of leadership in not only American politics, but also in American corporations. And quite honestly, I'm a little disappointed in the lack of backbone that a lot of people are showing right now. So today, what I want to do is I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, where do leaders come from? How we choose our leaders, how that's changed over the years, and who should lead us. So first of all, how do people actually become leaders? Leaders are not born per se. Some people are born with characteristics and traits that make them more natural to leadership, but a leader isn't born. A leader is built and created over time. And that leader is built by a mixture of experience, learning, and a deep-seated desire to make a difference. Said differently, leaders are able to solve really hard problems, not just by themselves, but by bringing together a team of people who can solve that problem. They're also really great at inspiring others to some positive future state that we all work together towards. And great leaders stay committed even when times are tough. Becoming a leader is less about climbing a ladder into leadership roles. It's more about demonstrating that you have the ability to actually create value and positive change wherever you go. So there's this concept that I love, which is called a high tide rises all boats, right? Great leaders create high tides. Everyone improves because that person is around them, that leader. And anyone can become a leader if they're willing to work on the skills and develop the experiences that are needed to be a great leader. So how do we actually go about choosing who our leaders are? Well, in the past, it was always choosing the strong man, the person who seemed to have the loudest voice and the most power projected in a situation. And quite honestly, thanks to social media and the very well organized right-wing propaganda machine that is spread across this entire planet, churning out dubious memes and fake news and other things that are just polluting the minds of people, many people have defaulted back to choosing a strong man. This is happening not just in the United States, but in Canada, Europe, everywhere, even Australia. And quite honestly, we're reverting back to something that might feel comfortable, but we know is not good for society in general, especially global society. Instead, as we choose our leaders, here are some traits that we really need to be looking for in those leaders. We need someone with integrity who's willing to do the right thing. We need someone who knows how to listen to learn, not just listen to respond, right? Communication is one of the most important skills an executive or any leader can develop. And being able to actually listen to learn from someone else, as opposed to listen to respond to someone else. We need leaders who can make intelligent, rational, and long-term decisions for the betterment of everyone. And we need to bring people together, not divide them. Divided, we fall. It's about recognizing the leaders who have the skills and characteristics to take us forward. And we should be looking for leaders who are willing to put the group in front of their own needs. Now, leadership has changed a lot over the years. We used to have very toxic leaders who would be at the top of military and political organizations and even corporations, right? It was always this idea that the leader was the boss who just barked orders down. Well, that's not how leadership works really in this day and age. Although it sure seems like we're going back to that right now. But generally speaking, leadership doesn't work that way anymore. Leaders today need to be really great communicators, and they need to be able to inspire and motivate, and they need to know how to build strong teams, because they have to understand that leaders are there to empower teams to build great things. Individuals can only do so much. Teams can do so much more. And great leaders know how to build, inspire, and cultivate great teams. They also need to be adaptable and open to new solutions to current problems. And the most successful leaders are the ones who can connect with people on a human level and create a sense of shared purpose between them. And so finally, the real question that I want to get to today is, who should lead us now in this moment? I go out of my way to not turn this into a political rant. I really want to be clear that what I'm talking about transcends politics here. It is about leadership and the definition of leadership and how that has changed. I am watching so many people buy into this Sigma male bullshit where you stand there with your hands like this and some like that stuff is ridiculous. That's not leadership. That's posturing. That's posing. And quite honestly, that's indicative of someone who needs extrinsic validation for who they are. They believe that their value is based on what other people think about them. Real leaders don't need that. Real leaders know that their confidence, their self-confidence, that comes from their internal belief. That's where their strength comes from. And those leaders are the ones who tend to be relatively quiet until they can't be quiet anymore. And right now, I think we're coming up on a period of time where we all are going to have to be more comfortable with being loud about our concerns than maybe we normally would be. So who should lead us? It's always been the same answer. We, the people. We, the people, have to create our leaders. We have to stand up and lead. It was never going to be political or corporate leaders of any party or any company that would lead us out of the chaos that we're driving ourselves into right now. They created the mess that we're in, and they are attached to the financial upside and benefit of the things that come to them so long as they play along. Those people are too tied to their own enrichment to see what they need to do in order to change things. So we need to change things. If we see something wrong in a corporation that we're working in, we need to say something. If we see something wrong in a government agency, we need to say something. We need to be out on the streets talking about it. If you want a better world, you're going to have to stand up and lead in some way, large or small. I'm not saying everyone should get picket signs and march to Washington or march on Google headquarters or whatever, right? No, it's more than that. It's more like leading can look like a lot of things. Like for me, my place in this is to help people understand what good leadership looks like. And that's what I'm going to make a series of videos about now. I'm not marching on the Capitol, at least not today, but I'm also understanding that I have a part to play in reclaiming what good leadership looks like in America. Now, if you think about it, post-World War II America, 1950s and 60s, man, what a time to be alive. Those were good times. But here's the thing. Good times create weak leaders. Weak leaders create bad times. And this is where we are in that cycle. But there's good news because bad times create great leaders. And then great leaders can create good times again. So we have to stand up and become our own leaders. It's not going to come from the political parties, either one of them. It's not going to come from the corporate leaders, any of them. It's going to come from us. So who will lead us? Will you? I'm certainly going to do my part by teaching leadership on this channel, and I hope you'll follow along as I teach leadership, at least my perspective, my flavor of leadership, and I'll hope you'll join me in the fight to reclaim what it means to be a great leader. That's what I have for you today. I'll see you in another one.